Hello, friends. My name is Coco, and you don't know me, and I don't know you, but I am very happy you're alive today. Today is Saturday. I hope you guys had a really, really good day today. It is a beautiful day outside, and I was outside watching my nephews play baseball and, just kind of really enjoying that sun. Then it got a little too hot. I was enjoying it way too much, so it got a little too warm, but it's still supposed to be a really, really good day today, so hopefully you guys either venture out or just kind of relax, whatever you need to do today to kind of take care of you. Anyway, one thing I did kind of want to talk about is, going back to depression. Depression is a mental illness, and with that being said, no two people have quite the same type of depression. I mean, it all kind of falls under similar categories, but the way it is for somebody else isn't necessarily the way it is for others. So, um, I guess what I'm trying to say is you may end up being on the receiving end of someone opening up for the very first time, of them experiencing depression, or maybe it's somebody that you didn't know who had it. It's just be open and be careful of how you are receiving that, with them. I think we should know how the best way to receive that kind of information because we have been on the other end where we've given that information to somebody and maybe wasn't told the best of things. So, I'm just kind of relating this because you may not realize somebody you may have known has suffered from a mental illness like depression or anything else in general, because sometimes it's not as transparent. Like I said, no two people have the same type of depression. So, if they come out and tell you, don't devalue that with them. Don't try to say, well, I thought you just had the regular kind. I'm talking about the mental illness kind. Don't do any of that because I think, you can really, really hurt somebody. And I know I've been pretty hurt by somebody who did that to me. So just kind of watch yourself, no matter what kind it is, it is a mental illness kind. Because there's a difference between, like, I tried to relate it this way. Imagine there's a window, and the window has blinds on it. And for most people, the blinds are kind of open, and, there's sunniness, and sometimes the clouds roll in, and you get the storm, and, that's where you have people who kind of feel that little bit of depression here and there. Their mood drops, or, rough times are happening to them, so they kind of feel it. But people with depression have a second set of blinds on there, and those blinds don't have as many openings. So even though you're kind of getting the sunlight through the first set of blinds, the second one, it's almost like patches of holes. Like if you've ever held up like kind of a strainer to the light and the light comes out in different ways, it's not all the same and not as much. And I kind of relate that to depression. So, I think at times we can be blinded by how we feel and not realize that somebody else has been feeling the same way and they've just been either hiding it better than we realized, or maybe we just had no idea that they were suffering from it. So don't, just kind of watch how you react to somebody. Don't just assume, well, no, because I have it worse, or oh no, because I mean it this way, because ultimately it is hard to come to somebody and say, I have been dealing with depression, because it is a stigma that we're trying to get rid of. And even now, I find it hard to, like, if I see something on Facebook or things like that, I have a hard time kind of putting myself out there and saying, and just kind of discussing it and talking about how I feel about it, because the stigma kind of makes you feel like you're scared. Like, maybe you really are crazy, or maybe, maybe you're not feeling it the same way as somebody else, and therefore yours is not as good, or maybe you are not, mentally ill, maybe you're just kind of sad. Like, it's all these devaluing things, I think, is what I'm trying to get out here. And like I said, there's no just plain depression. There's like moments in your life where things are going wrong or you feel kind of down because of situations and things like that. But, everybody goes through that in life. The difference with depression, again, I'm only speaking from my end because that's different for everybody. But the difference is that it's not just when the tough times are rolling, it's even in the smallest things. Like, I made a mistake at work and it was eating me up, even though it was fine. It wasn't a big deal. Like, it was an easy correction, not a big deal. But it made me feel really like, God, how could I do that and everything else? And after a while, I kind of took a step back, like, okay, I'm digging at myself. Why am I doing that? And of course, I'm doing that because I'm depressed, and I found something that I felt embarrassed about, latched onto it, and just kind of held on. So, you know, again, even I have hard times coming out and saying, like, oh yeah, with my depression, it's like this and blah, 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 because you do feel this stigma. Like, what if someone says, just stop being sad? Or, well, yours isn't that bad. Or, all those other things we've been told that aren't that great. So if you end up being on the receiving end, just remember the things that you've been told and just remind yourself that it's really hard for this person to tell you because maybe you're the very first person they've told. So anyway, it's kind of the point I just wanted to make. It's no fun when you're kind of opening up, and even if you've opened up to your family and you're still kind of getting out there. And again, it's a stigma that we're trying to talk about more, but it's so hard to talk about sometimes. And I guess what I'm trying to say is when someone finally gets the courage to talk about it, make sure you're open, as I said several times. So I'll cut this short, but that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today is just, watch yourself and your reaction when someone's coming to you, because you may be the first person that they've ever told, and you don't want to respond and react a certain way to where they feel like they can't go to anybody and ask for help. And I mean, even with me, I'm not too sure how to help you guys. I mean, I'm not a psychologist. I didn't go to school for this. I didn't, I don't have these studies or methods. The only thing I'm doing is I'm reading up and finding ways, and maybe they worked for me, maybe they didn't, but I just share them. And, I'm not the best person to maybe be doing this. However, I am trying, and I am only human. So, you on the receiving end, you might say, oh God, why are they telling me? Like, what can I do? But the thing is that they trusted you enough to kind of say, I do need help. And whether you are able to help them or not, you're still going to be there for them and offer that support, which is pretty much what PPC is about. It's about giving you guys that support. So, you know, that's about it. So just be good to each other. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. We're going to fight it together. And, we deserve to be happy. And the more that there are of us that are fighting, the more chances we have of getting out of this together. So just be good to each other, love each other, be kind to each other, and treat others how you want to be treated, because that's the golden rule. Anyway, it's getting long, so I'll stop here. I love you all. Do the best that you can. That's all that anybody asks for. And remember, I am very happy you're alive today. I love you all. Have a great Saturday. And remember, do unto others as you want done unto you. And that's it. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.